All right, so here we are at the beehives, and this is Farmer Travis. He's our professional bee farmer.
Hello.
So he's going to be helping us harvest honey today.
So first we're going to give the bees a few puffs of smoke to let them know that we're coming. And a big way that bees communicate with each other is through pheromones. When the smoke enters the hive, it sends a signal to their pheromone receptors. It kind of confuses them and lets them know that we're entering the hive. So I'm taking off the outer cover of the hive. Now we're going to take off the inner cover of the hive. This top box is where we're going to collect honey from. This is a honey super. We're going to take this top box off and enter our brood chamber. So first we're going to take off a honey super. The next thing we have is a queen excluder. This is a layer of metal wires that prevents the queen from moving up into our honey supers and laying eggs where we want to be collecting honey. Bees like to glue things in their hive together with a substance called propolis, which is collected from trees. So I'm using my hive tool to gently remove this propolis. We use a style of hive called Langstreth, which includes individual frames that are placed in a larger box. The queen bee is right here, so it's the queen's job to lay all of the eggs in the hive. There's only one queen in every hive. So she goes around and she lays eggs in each of these individual cells. She can choose to lay a fertilized egg, which turns into a worker bee, and she can also choose to lay an unfertilized egg, which will turn into a drone or a male bee. She's right here. This frame is where a lot of our brood are being reared. So brood refers to baby bees. The first stage of a bee's life is an egg. From there, it hatches into a larva. Once the larval stage is complete, the bees will put wax over the cap. That is the pupa stage, and from there, when the adult bee is ready, she will chew a hole through her little hole and emerge and start her job as a worker bee. On this side of the frame is where we're going to see a lot of our eggs. They look like a tiny, tiny grain of rice. Some of these you might be able to see some like white jelly-like shapes. In other areas of this frame, that would be the larval stage of the bee. And then there's even a few capped cells here, so that would be the pupa stage. And then on the outside, this waxy part, this is capped honey. So here's a frame where we have a lot of nectar. Nectar is the substance collected from flowers that's ultimately going to turn into honey. It looks in these uncapped frames like a shiny, watery substance. And bees create honey from nectar by using a special part of their body called a honey stomach. So what they're doing here is they are using their bodies and the special gland that creates wax to draw wax. This white stuff here is plastic, and it serves as sort of a base for the bees to work off of. It looks like it has a couple of different things going on, which includes bees drawing some wax out on the outside of the frames, and it looks like some bees up here working on honey producing. I check on the bees about once every 7 to 10 days. So in about 1 week, we'll come back and we'll see how they've come along on their honey production. Frame goes back. We put our inner cover back on. Put our outer cover back on. And then we put a weight on top of the hive so that our cover doesn't blow off. Thanks for watching.